Greetings, y'all. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Osha Cerese Show. This is your host, Osha Cerese. Right here, all ready for bed, baby. Because it's been a long day. As you can see, fresh face today. We're not made up. We don't have no mascara on or nothing. Eyes watering. This is me, y'all. Welcome back to the Osha Cerese Show, your daily reset. This is where we are taking headlines. This is where headlines meets healing. It's been a long day, y'all. Where headlines meet healing and where we utilize alchemy to turn gossip into growth. This is culture meets coaching. I am a certified life coach, and instead of just scrolling and consuming all of the celebrity tea and all the gossip and the blogs and all of the trending topics, I want to take what's going on in the news, on social media, and pull the lessons from it to give you and myself some value. And this show is all about healing, self-love, self-discovery, and intentional dating. So we talk about all things, all the things from ratchet to real to, whatever's going on, we're going to talk about it and break it down. I keep telling y'all about that I'm on this 7-day, or I was on this 7-day raw vegan fast and juicing. Still on it, still going. This is day 11. And I normally show you my juice of the day. But baby, I don't know if it's because I'm tired and it's been a long day or because I'm showing up every day consistently doing all this yapping. But my voice was a little rusty before I came on. I said something and it didn't come out right. And I'm like, hold up. So instead of juice, I'm drinking hot tea. I actually got this Thrive tea. I don't know if it's necessarily considered tea, but this Thrive pack of herbs that I got from this guy. I think his name was X. I think his brand is called Nasty Lemonade or something like that. He had a booth set up across the street from Tassili's Raw Reality when I was going to get a Mandingo wrap. If you go to Tassili's Raw Reality in the historic West End of Atlanta, this is my order. Mandingo wrapped in seaweed with mixed kale. That's my order every time. So anyway, I was going to get me a Mandingo. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Tassili's, let me get a little sip. For those of you that aren't familiar, if you don't live in Atlanta, or sometimes people that live in Atlanta and been living in Atlanta ain't never heard of it because it is a raw vegan restaurant. What's his name? Not Mr. Hotspot, but Mr. Chime Time. He actually did a review on Tassili's not too long ago. And a lot of people in the comments had never heard of it. I was shocked. I've lived here in Atlanta for a little over, it's about 10 and a half years now. And ever since I've been vegan, it's been my go-to spot. So, anyway, across the street. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So those of you that aren't familiar with it, they sell kale wraps. So fresh, seasoned to perfection kale. In the Mandingo, you get your kale, you get your sun-dried tomatoes. They don't sleep on the raisins. There's raisins in there. I think it's golden raisins. Sometimes they be regular raisins. I don't know, depending on what they got. There's I feel like there's sliced almonds, hemp hearts. What else they got in there? Coconut corn, lots of avocado, tomatoes, a little red onion, some agave. And it sounds like a lot, but when I tell you the way the flavors mesh together, since it's mixed kale, you got a little cayenne pepper in there. There's some nutritional yeast that give it that cheesy flavor too. You can do it without if you want to. And then there's vegan mayo in the wrap as well. You can ask for your wrap without mayo if you don't want it, but it is good. Um, Anything else that I'm missing that goes in the Tassili's wrap? Mandingo wrap. I think that's it. But they have all different types of combinations you can get. You can get, there's a on the border, there's a punani wrap that's similar to the Mandingo, but it's less ingredients. But anyway, if you're vegan, raw vegan, or just want a healthier choice, this is not sponsored. I'm just talking. Um, go to Tassili's and get my order and tell me what you think. But anyway, I was going there the other day to get a wrap, and this man, he had a nice pitch. He had a nice approach for what he was selling, and he had this Thrive powder. His father is a doctor, holistic doctor, and he told me all about it. I couldn't repeat everything that it said, but it was like a lot of superfoods in it, so I got that. So that's in here, and some dandelion root tea with some agave. Very good. Let's see what the message says. Ooh. He who wants a rose must respect the thorn. That's a Persian proverb. So let's just get on right into it. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. This is the Osha Cerese Show. I'm your host, Osha Cerese. And what are we talking about today? Let's look at my notes. One of the things I want to talk about is, why in the world is Soulja Boy and Marlon Wayans beefing? Like, that's one of the most random, unexpected beefs. That is just too random. It just seems like people have been randomly deciding to beef. But anyway, on this episode, every episode I've been highlighting or spotlighting Black history, since this is Black History Month. So happy Black History Month. And then we got I was about to say Thanksgiving, y'all. I'm tired. Valentine's Day coming up this Friday. So I have been spotlighting Black love in history. And then I found out day 2 of this show, when I was spotlighting historical facts about Black history and Black love, I found out that we actually have a Black Love Day. And Black Love Day is February 13th coming up. So Black Love Day doesn't just encompass and embody, celebrate Black romantic love. It celebrates love of family, love of source, love of self, love of community, and love of Black people. So when I saw that Soulja Boy and the Wayans brothers, I mean, not the Wayans brothers, but Marlon Wayans were beefing, I was like, let me just spotlight the Wayans brothers, the Wayans family, and just give y'all a few fun facts about them. So, the original Wayans family, the OGs, they're from New York, but now they are huge in Hollywood. So all their grandkids and new great grandchildren that are coming up, they grew up in LA, but the OGs, they from New York. The family is led by Howell and Elvira Wayans, both who have passed on, but they raised 10 children. 5 went into show business and 5 did not. But they said, I've heard them say that the 5 that didn't are just as funny. But Keenan Ivory Wayans, Damon Wayans Sr., Sean Wayans, Marlon Wayans, Kim Wayans. Those are the ones that we know from TV, movies, and all that. So Keenan Ivory Wayans is the pioneer in Black comedy, best known for creating In Living Color. Came out in 1990, 2 years after I was born. And I grew up watching it, and I definitely remember it. So I don't know how long my notes don't say how long it went on, but I definitely remember watching as a child. So In Living Color launched the careers of many people, many stars that we know today. Jim Carrey, he was James Carrey when when the intro used to come on. Jamie Foxx, Jennifer Lopez, aka J Lo. Rosie Perez was on there. Like, a lot of stars were on there. And of course his siblings. Damon Wayans Sr., he starred in Major Pain, My Wife and Kids, and was an original Saturday Night Live cast member. Now, this is a side note. Tisha Campbell, we know her as playing Gina on Martin, but I really feel like she shined the most on My Wife and Kids. Her comedy, her timing, and all of that was just on My Wife and Kids. And I guess, I don't know if Damon Wayans Sr. brought that out of her or if it was just that she didn't have to compete with Tashina Arnold. Not that they were competing on Martin, but of course, Tashina had more opportunities for the one-liners between her and Martin. So I don't know. I feel like Tisha Campbell shined more on My Wife and Kids. Sean and Marlon Wayans became household names with the Wayans brothers. Fun fact, I actually learned how to twerk watching the Wayans brothers. Do y'all remember that episode when Pops was running for office, some type of senator or something, and they had brought in the girl that was twerking, and Sean kept hyping her up, pop that booty, booty, booty. So I had my little move, not advocating twerking for children, but girls, we dance as kids. We make up routines or whatever. I could never really pop my booty like that, but when she came on there popping her booty, I learned. Shout out to you, girl. Taught me how to dance. Of course, they were in White Chicks, Scary Movies. The Scary Movie, I can't remember the ones that they did. I think 1 and 2. But I heard that, not me stuttering. I'm sleepy, y'all. I heard that the Scary Movies are back in their hands. So whatever was put out in these past couple of ones is back in the Wayans' hands. And the original ones that they did, they co-wrote, produced, and starred in it, and it grossed over $896 million worldwide. So that's almost $1 billion movie series. Kim Wayans is an actress, writer, producer, and she's known for her roles in Living Color. And it says Pariah. I ain't never heard of that, but shout out to you, girl. And I remember her on In Living Color talking about, she was the one gossiping woman that said, don't nobody talk about Miss Jenkins. I think it was Miss Jenkins. And then I remember the skit where it was her and I want to say it was maybe David Allen Greer. And they'd be like, we still together. And they'd be trying to kill each other. So they are hilarious. And then, of course, we know that the younger generation, they're coming out in the industry. Damian Dante Wayans, Shantae Wayans, Damon Wayans Jr. And y'all see how much Damon Wayans Jr. and Damon Wayans Sr. resemble. And Damon Wayans Jr. looks so young. This man has, I think, like 6 children, 3 grown daughters, and he's a grandfather. So Damon Wayans Sr. is a great grandfather already. And when I tell you they got some strong genes, it is amazing. Like, I got some people in my family that look alike, but they got some strong Wayans genes. I think it's one of the siblings that isn't famous. There is a son that looks just like Keenan Ivory Wayans, and everybody is always in his comments like, you look just like your daddy. That ain't even his daddy. I know Sean has a son named Marlon, and Marlon has a son named Sean. And Marlon's son kind of looks more like his dad. I mean, like his mom, but you could tell he's a Wayans. And then Sean's boy, Marlon, looks like him, just a lighter version. And then Damon Wayans Jr. has a daughter that looks just like Kim Wayans, and that's her great aunt. So they got some strong genes, and they are a very talented family. They are very historical in the black community. Like, the Wayans they are pioneers in this entertainment world. So I don't know what him and Soulja Boy got going on, But I'm gonna shout out some some fun facts about Soulja Boy too, because you know he always talking about he the first this, first that. But his name is DeAndre Cortez Way, and he did make a huge impact on music as we know it. He's one of the originals to be on the internet, turning the internet up, creating content. So we have to give him his props. He was born in Chicago, Illinois, Chi-Town, and he was raised in Atlanta, Georgia. He blew up in 2007. That was a year after I graduated high school with Crank That Soulja Boy. And it went viral before going viral was an actual thing. And I think that's probably why I don't really know the Soulja Boy, the Soulja Crank That dance. Like I know the woo you and the Superman that part, but I don't know the full dance because I think I was paying bills when in 2007 I had my own apartment. Like I wasn't worried about cranking that Soulja Boy, but um, it was the first song to ever be sold digitally, not thumbs down, digitally over 3 million times, and it made Soulja Boy a teen millionaire overnight. That's super dope. Like we got to give Soulja Boy his props for that. He paved the way for independent artists to market themselves through YouTube, MySpace, and social media. And it's also his business savvy has also led him to launch his own gaming console and multiple fashion brands. I know y'all not feeling Soulja Boy right now because he performed at the Crypto Ball, but this is Black History Month. We spotlighting the people that did what they did. So um, it doesn't take away his accomplishments. He has paved the way for a lot of people. Soulja Boy and Kanye West, they like, and 50 Cent and everybody just petty and do what they want to do, I guess. I don't know. It says that he's been in various beefs. From Bow Wow to Kanye West, who I just mentioned, to Ice-T. So now he's beefing with Marlon Wayans. Something happened. I think Marlon Wayans criticized Soulja Boy for, I don't know if that actually started it, but I'm thinking it's because he criticized him for performing at Trump's crypto ball. And according to my notes, it says that the drama started when Soulja Boy went on a rant about comedians making fun of him. And then Marlon Wayans responded with jokes, which led Soulja Boy to clap back on social media. And Marlon doubled down, calling Soulja Boy a grown man with a 14-year-old's mindset. So Soulja Boy made a serious accusation against Marlon, escalating the situation. Can y'all just make up? Because I don't know. Soulja Boy is unhinged, but Marlon, he's a comedian, so he's gonna take it there if you want to go there. So far, let's see the clapbacks. Soulja Boy said, "Marlon Wayans, you a B, and you not funny. Shut up, N. Keep selling your soul and sucking the higher up D's." Marlon Wayans says the coon that jumped over the moon. And then he commented under the shade room that reposted all of this and said, "Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya." And so the latest, Marlon Wayans posted this picture that went viral with Soulja Boy on stage and his homeboy whispering something in his ear. And you see how Soulja looking. He said, "I'm sorry," Soulja Boy said. "What now?" "Looking like you give up anything for some meth." So Soulja Boy went live. No, then Marlon said, "I respect how Soulja Boy retired after them 2 songs, Shaking My Head, so sad." And then he said, "Hey, Soulja Boy, in the immortal words of Nas, a real legend in hip hop, you been on my D. You love my style." And then he posted a screenshot of Soulja Boy in his DMs asking for him to put him in a movie. So Soulja Boy says, "Oh, did I hurt your feelings, Marlon Wayans? Your movies suck, and I was trying to turn your shit up. No hard feelings. I'll still do a movie with you. All this shit is entertainment," with a smiley face. Then he posts a screenshot of Marlon Wayans in his DMs asking him to repost promo for one of his old movies. So I don't know what to take of this, if this is that deep. I know it ain't that deep, but I'm sure they'll make up and get along one day. It's not that deep, but I just was like, I'm on my internet, like, why in the world are Soulja Boy and Marlon Wayans beefing? How did this work? That's what's going on in that arena, y'all. I will say this. I think that as far as the crypto ball and all of the rappers who decided to rap at the crypto ball, Snoop Dogg, Nelly, Rick Ross, Soulja Boy, I feel like whoever has an opinion about it, they have all the rights to have their opinion. You know, make content about it, talk about it, feel however you're gonna feel about it. But I don't feel like that's a green light to go harass nobody. Because the way y'all was dragging Snoop Dogg and all these other artists, Nelly, Ashanti, she ain't even perform, that's just her husband. Um, Snoop Dogg's wife going under her comments, and I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I think that that is inappropriate. Like keep your opinions on your own page and your own platform and discuss them amongst your own people. Get off of people's pages harassing them, because I ain't gonna lie, I was gonna talk about this a little later in the show, but let's just go ahead and segue right into it, because I don't know if y'all know or not. Some of y'all do and some of y'all don't. I didn't really post about it a lot on Instagram. So I did do a live here on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, if you're watching this on Instagram, you need to also subscribe to my channel, because this show is not going to always stream on Instagram. It's going to live on YouTube. So click the link in my bio to subscribe to my YouTube. It's youtube.com/@Osha Cerese. But story time. So January 1st, I think it was right after midnight. I'm up, had been up late waiting till after midnight to bring in 2025. A few, maybe a week or so, not even a week, a few days prior to, maybe a couple days before Christmas, I'm at the grocery store. I have this particular experience, and I was offended because of the circumstances and the history and all that. I'm going to get into the story, but I'm just, letting you know how I was feeling about it. So I was talking about it to my cousin who I was on the phone with during the time of the situation. We were talking about it, and then maybe the next day or two, me and my mom were talking about it. And so January 1st, after I was up, I've been on Threads. I started a thread. I don't know. I think I got on Threads maybe in 2023, whenever it first came out. But I had started being more active on Threads. And up until this point, my threads were seen by people who look like me, people who talk like me, understand my lingo, understand my life experiences. And I wasn't really getting that much engagement, actually. It probably was less than 10 comments that I would be getting on my threads, because I wasn't following many people and not many people were following me. You have the option when you go to Threads to follow all of your Instagram connections, and then that usually gets you more or followers on Threads. But I had chosen not to select that when I first got over there. I'm like, oh, let me just see what happens organically. So anyway, I didn't really get a lot of feedback from that. So I'm gonna just read to y'all what my Threads post said. And if you're gonna be a pearl clutcher, just prepare to clutch your pearls, because this is what it said. Okay. So it says, a woman approached me in the produce section while I was shopping and minding my business. Can I get you to come do me a favor? Because you're tall. I looked at her with a straight face and I said, no, I'd rather you get someone who works here. She got assistance, and when I tell you, she would have wanted me to walk to the other side of the section to gather her something from the top shelf. That is highly offensive to me, and yes, she was. And this is not the first time I've experienced this. So again, I'm talking to the people that I normally be talking to, right? So if you from the Black culture, the millennium culture, we talk in a way where if we tell a story and most likely it's clear that it's somebody of whatever it is, whatever the assumption is going to be, people already know what type of person I'm talking about, whether it's race or gender or age or whatever the context of the post is. If you say, yes, she was, or yes, he was, it's a preemptive answer to the question people are going to have. Was this person this, whatever? So just to give y'all a little bit of history on why I said it like that. Somehow, after I posted it, I got a couple of comments from people that I normally engage with before I went to sleep. They were like, oh yeah, somebody's asked me that before, but never to follow them to another part of the section or, whatever, this and that. Baby, I went to sleep. And when I woke up, my post had been kicked out to somebody else's algorithm that didn't look like me and didn't think like me and they hadn't lived my same experiences. And they were on my ass, like not even trying to understand why I may have been offended or just be quiet because they don't have to try to understand. Like they was just on me talking about, oh, you're not nice, you're this, you're that, what a jerk, I got called everything but a child of God, really. It was kind of like it was a lot of comments. It went viral quickly, and it was a lot of just questioning my character. And you're not a good person. How could you be a life coach? You're supposed to help people, and this and that. And it was a mess. Um, I'm trying to see if I can read some of the comments because it's so many. Let's see. Oh, a lot of the comments were, well, I'm tall and I help people all the time, or my husband is 6'5". My husband is 6'4", and he does this all the time and he feels grateful for, like, telling me their experiences or their husband's experiences or comparing me to what a man would do. Like, yeah. So again, everybody can have an opinion. And my thread was a public thread open to dialogue and opinions. So I'm not saying that people they couldn't have shared their opinion. Whether I agree with it or not, it's a public forum. So whatever, say what you want to say. But when you start getting rude and disrespectful, calling me out of my name, wishing bad on me, some woman said, I hope that you need help one day. I hope you get lost in a foreign city or locked out of your car. Like, huh? Somebody said, I hope you slip and fall on a grape. Like, just crazy stuff. And mainly my post was about the entitlement and the audacity. I wasn't necessarily saying that this woman was a racist, but because of our history and because of cultural differences, in history, even Michelle Obama has experienced this. Sometimes, as Black people, we are looked at as the help. We are looked at as somebody that should serve all the time. And this woman was not, a lot of people try to say, oh, well, if somebody rolled up to me in a wheelchair and I helped them get something off the shelf, like, you're bringing up scenarios that don't apply here. This woman was an able-bodied, middle-aged woman. She was not an old woman. They changed the narrative and said, oh, this little old lady. Like, no, she was an able-bodied, middle-aged woman. There are no produce shelves that are that damn tall. And then I was at a store that is always fully staffed. So it's not like it's difficult to find somebody to help you. When I looked up, there were men, there were other women, there was staff. So why are you walking up to me asking me to stop shopping. I'm on the phone, actually. I'm in a rush and I'm shopping. And you want me to stop? You interrupted my phone call to ask me this. And you want me to stop what I'm doing, my own grocery shopping, to come follow you somewhere else to get something from a top shelf for you. I'm not doing that. And so I got this huge backlash. Again, got called everything but a child of God. Got my character was questioned, my career path was questioned, all these things. And then somebody screenshot it and took it to X, aka Twitter. And it went, I think within a couple of days, maybe a day, it was like at 400, maybe 300,000 views. And the caption that this woman put when she reposted it was, gotta read it verbatim. So when the woman reposted it on Twitter, she put my profile picture next to it, and then she put the screenshot of my post from Threads. And her caption said, "Black fragility strikes again. I'm a tall girl who then wears heels on top of that. I've been approached numerous times to pull something off of a top shelf. I always comply if I can get it. If I see someone struggling, I'll usually offer without them asking. Black people need to get over themselves." And this was reposted by someone named Natalie Jean Beisner. And somebody told me, I ain't never heard of her. Somebody told me she's like the white Candace Owens or something. I don't know. Whatever, she's a clown. But she posted it with that. And the thing about it that it was irritating is because I too help people when I see them struggling. If I walk past somebody and I see them struggling to get something off of a shelf, I'm going to reach for it and get it. If I am right here and somebody says, "Do you mind handing me that?" I'm going to hand it to them, no problem. But I am not about to follow nobody in no grocery store when there are staff members there to do that. I'm not about to disrupt what I'm doing and my shopping experience, especially when I'm on the phone and I'm rushing to go follow anybody any damn where, especially somebody that's able-bodied. Now, if it was somebody that had special circumstances, maybe I would have done it. But to act as if this decision that I made to say no to this woman and redirect her to staff was a reflection of all Black people, and Black people need to get over themselves, and Black fragility strikes again. Girl, bye. Like, so someone else retweeted it, or not, yeah, they reposted it on Twitter, because it wasn't a retweet because I never posted it on Twitter. But someone else posted the screenshot on Twitter, and her post got like 9.1 million views. So when I say I was harassed and disrespected on Threads, it was that to the 20th power on X, because there it's not as censored over there. So of course I got called N-words, NBs, go back to Africa. Like, it was crazy over there. So I was feeling like, y'all remember on Color Purple when Miss Sophia was out and about shopping with her beautiful children, and Miss Millie walked up to her and said, "Oh my God, your kids are so clean." And she started hugging all on her kids and touching their faces and stuff. And then she looked up at Miss Sophia and said, "Do you want to come work for me?" And Miss Sophia said, "Hell no." And she said, "What? Excuse, what did you say?" I said, "Hell no." And then all of a sudden, the mob came around her, swarming around her, attacking her and spewing all this hateful words and saying that how dare she talk to Miss Millie like this. Woo, 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 woo. And then she sees the officer walking through the crowd and she's like, "Help me, help me." And he come and knock her out with the damn barrel of the gun. Like, I'm not trying to compare, me saying no to somebody asking me for help in the grocery store to the type of situations like, so Miss Sophia and Miss Millie, of course, are fictional characters from The Color Purple, but represent real life things that has been happening since the beginning of time, um, the beginning of the racism. I don't believe we started out like that at the beginning of time, but have been happening for ages. But it did feel like, because I said no to a white woman, I was being attacked, and that's what was going on. So I was I was on my petty Betty stuff on Threads. I was going back and forth, being hella petty, talking my shit to the people in the comments, and then on Twitter, I didn't even. It was just too many people to respond to on Twitter, to be honest. So I changed my profile picture to the picture that they made viral, and then I pinned a GIF of Miss Sophia saying "hell no." So that ruffled some feathers too. But I'm bringing this up to talk about the fact that they kept saying, "You're not nice. You're not nice." And first of all, you don't even know me at all. Like, none of them know me in real life. They're basing this one situation and one scenario of me enforcing my own boundary to not want to serve somebody that I don't know, a stranger that's perfectly capable of doing it themselves or finding help from staff. And they're trying to basically label me as someone that I'm not. So I wanted to talk. I told someone in the comments, I say, "You're right. I'm not nice. I'm kind." And they're like, "You're not kind either, but I could be nice sometimes, but nice is not priority to me. Like, I'm kind. I'm kind-hearted. I'm genuine. I'm authentic." And I wanted to talk about the differences between being nice and being kind, because some people don't know. I'm gonna just name some of them. So nice looks like polite with everyone and others feel good about them. And kind is more so like genuinely cares about people and doesn't show off. Like, you're not doing it to be performative. Niceness is passive, nice on face but different on our back. Kindness is an attitude. Person wishes to be kind or not. Nice is afraid to speak up in unpleasant situations, like, just gonna sit here and be nice. Kind always puts forth their views and takes a stand. So you can be kind and also have a voice. Niceness can be lethal because of competition of showing off, and acts of kindness produces oxytocin. It helps in decreasing blood pressure. Fun fact. Nice, again, driven by a desire to be liked or to avoid conflict, and kind, driven by genuine care for others' well-being. Nice is often involve surface level gestures and pleasantries, and kindness involves deeper, sometimes more difficult actions that truly benefit others. Nice creates temporary harmony but may lack depth and authenticity. And kindness leads to meaningful positive impacts on others' lives. And then nice is like acting from expectations. Kindness is acting from genuine feelings. Nice can be people pleasing. I'm a former people pleaser. I'm a recovering people pleaser. Kindness is treating others and yourself well. Self love, baby. Nice is having poor boundaries. Kindness is having healthy boundaries. Nice is centering yourself to spare other people's feelings, and kindness is being true to yourself. Nice is enabling. Kindness is helping. So I'm going to help those that help themselves. I'm going to help when I feel that my help is needed, but I'm not going to enable an able-bodied person or a person that doesn't wish to find solutions on their own. Like, baby, this ain't that. I'm not the help, and it is what it is. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Are you nice, or are you kind, or are you both, or do you prioritize either of them? And I saw something too. You know, I have my little spiritual girlies that I follow. This is from Zodi underscore am, or AM. I think it's am, on Instagram. And she says, as we get closer to Venus retrograde, because Mercury is not the only planet that goes in retrograde, y'all. She said, do not expect women to be nice. The dark feminine will be activated and integrated. Women will be setting boundaries and standing on business. And I'm like, well, shit, I'm already there, baby. And the next couple of slides or something, I think she was saying that we're already in the shadow period of the Venus retrograde. And then tomorrow is Leo full moon. I'm a Leo. Like, the energy is flowing. But I'm just saying, like, I have always been referred to as like sweet, kind, and even nice, friendly. But I'm finding as I'm getting older, maybe as I'm enforcing boundaries more, as I'm knowing myself better, um, as I'm stepping more into my full authenticity and my power, um, I'm finding that a lot of those attributes don't really align with me anymore. I definitely feel like I'm still sweet and kind, for sure. And I've had someone, my name is a derivative of Oshun. This Osha is my real name. My father named me after Oshun, the river. I later found out about the goddess. And I don't know if Oshun governs my head. I have not had a reading and went through Ifa initiation or anything to find out who my Orisha is, but I resonate with a lot of Oshun qualities. And a lot of people talk about Oshun as, I've been told, like, oh, you remind me of Oshun because you're so sweet and this and that. But Oshun is also a force to be reckoned with, baby. She don't play, and neither do I. I don't think I so much resonate with niceness or even friendliness. I'm friendly if it's genuine, if it's authentic to how I'm feeling. But I don't have it in me to be fake at all. I've never had it in me to be fake, actually. I've had it in me to be friendly when I didn't really want to be, and it's not I don't feel like that's fake. Like, just being friendly because time and place, right? You at work, you're in customer service, you're whatever the role is that requires you to be friendly. But I ain't never been fake. And I think that's why that's why I prefer to be self-employed, because I've never been able to, like, we code switch in the Black community, but my code switching ain't never switched all the way. Like, I'm gonna be me at all times. And I feel like I've worked with and worked for some people that have been able to accept that, and then some, like, you either can or you can't. People either like me or they don't. There's not really a gray area with me, especially when it comes to, like, in the workforce. So, not sure if y'all know this, but I was in the medical field for like 13 or 14 years. I was a nurse for over 10 years. So there's a lot of politics in nursing. When you work in nursing homes, and there's administration, there's director of nurses, there's your immediate supervisor. I've been a manager. I've been in different roles when it comes to nursing. And I've had some supervisors that, like, love my realness, and they fucks with me. Like, they like me. They just we vibe. And so they allow me to be myself unapologetically, without judging me, knowing that I'm there to do a great job. I'm a great nurse, all of that. But then I have had some that I just grind their gears, because not necessarily just my personality, because the people that didn't like me, they didn't really take the time to get to know me. They just didn't like something that I did or said, because I'm the type of person that, while everybody's at work wanting to gossip behind the supervisor's back and talk about, oh, they said this, and I heard they're doing that, and this is how I feel about this and that, I'm going to talk to them about it. Like, I'm going to bring it up in a meeting. I'm going to confront them, not in a confrontational, aggressive way, but I'm going to bring up whatever this rumor is. Like, let's clear the air. Why are we whispering and hiding and talking shit behind people's backs? Like, we all grown. Outside of these four walls of this building, we all just adults. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I work for massa, or I got to bow down or minimize myself or dim my light or be small up under anybody. Like, yes, I understand my role or whatever I'm here to do. I respect your role as well. But this is what I heard, or I didn't like this, or I'm feeling a way about that. And some people can handle that. Some people can handle uncomfortable conversations. They can handle realness, and some people can't. I can tell you stories for days. I'm going to tell you a few. I got 2 or 3 right now that I can think of off the dome. Me in nursing school. I almost didn't become a nurse. I was in nursing school. Let me see. 2000. Who was it? 2007 to 2009 or 2008? I don't know. I think I graduated in 2009, and I believe it was a year and a half. So maybe 2007 is when I started. Anyway, by the time we got to clinicals, um, I was I was dealing with my ex at the time. I was dealing with a lot of distractions at the time. So we had strict rules that we weren't supposed to miss any clinicals. So I ended up me and him got into it one night, super late, just got into it, and I just wasn't in a position to make it to clinicals on time or at all the next day. So I ended up trying to reach the clinical instructor. I didn't have her number. I reached out to one of my classmates. The way she either gave me the number or the way I entered the number, I was one number off. Didn't realize it. Left a message, told them I couldn't make it. I had to make up the clinical. Long story short, they never got the message. They thought I was a no call, no show. I had to go through, a lot of different channels to explain what happened, show them that this is the steps that I took. So everything was all good with that, but I was on their radar after that. And at the time, I was in part-time nursing school, so I would go in the evenings. We had one teacher, one instructor that taught all of the subjects. The class that was being held in the day, the full-time LPN class, it was different teachers, different instructors that would teach them. So they didn't really know me like that. So in the evening, we were like a little family. We all got along. We loved our instructor. Everything was all good. So with all these issues that came up with me missing the clinical, and then a meeting happened. It was just a lot of stuff that was going on in between time. These folks, the clinical instructor, she was unprofessional as hell. She would be late every time. She would be up in the office or the room doing her own thing while we were downstairs doing clinicals. Wasn't very present. She had signed off on my clinicals, said everything was all right, approved everything. And then one day after class, she's like, "Can you hand me your clinical slip? I need to make some changes on it." And I was like, "I don't feel comfortable with you making changes on this when I've already signed. I signed and you signed. So what do I look like giving you this to make changes?" So she tried to get that. And then after class one night, they just had a surprise meeting for me. I wasn't warned. I wasn't given any information about what this meeting was about. When I tell you, these folks had me in a small ass, it was like I don't even think it was a room. It was like a closet. I think it was like a little lab area, but it was the size of a little closet, not a mop closet, but like just a storage closet. So I go in there. It's my instructor, the clinical instructor, the administrator of the nursing department, and the night dean. And I feel like it was one other person, all in this little ass room. So again, I told you my instructor, me and her got along. So she's looking crazy. Like they got her held against her will. I'm standing up against this, like the cabinets. The night dean is right next to me. The administrator is on this side with the other woman she with. The clinical instructor and my instructor are over here. So they're talking, telling me, different things that they're concerned about and having issues with and all this. I'm explaining what's going on. Next thing I know, the night dean, a man, is literally this close, pointing at me in the side of my face. I'm like, don't point your finger at me. And when I tell you, everybody in that bitch clutched their pearls and gasped, I heard a, you can't talk to him like that. He's like, this man said, I can point at you as long as I don't touch you. No, sir. No, you cannot. Like, you're not about to put your finger in my face and scold me like I'm a child. Like, at this point, I was probably 20. I'm young, but you're not about to point in my face as you're talking to me. Like, that's just out of line for me. So for me to have spoken up about that, they didn't like that. They immediately made their mind up of who I was. So I told him that they were taken aback, clutched their pearls, told me I needed to leave, and literally the administrator closed the door. Yeah, thumbs down. The administrator closed the door on me as I'm walking out, and I felt like Miss Sophia again. I said, "Don't push." I said, "Don't close no door on me." I was ready to fight that night. I was like, "Don't close no door on me." And she said something, and she closed the door, and I left. And these folks kicked me out of nursing school. Kicked me out of nursing school. My grades were fine. I literally did everything that I was supposed to do except show up for clinicals that day. And I got kicked out of nursing school. So by the grace of God, I was cool with the financial aid director, who was a black man. I was cool with him. I went and had a meeting with him. I told him what was going on. He heard me. He was like, "Yeah, we've been having some problems with the night dean and certain people too. I'm gonna get you a meeting with the dean of the school, like the day dean, that the official dean." So we had a meeting with the three of us, and he set up a meeting with the nursing school administrators and stuff, and I ended up getting back in. But in the meantime, they were working on firing our teacher, our instructor that we all loved. I don't know why, but they fired her. And she reached out to me and told me that they were trying to force her, or maybe they did force her to write a negative review about me. That wasn't true. Like they forced her to do it, and either she refused, and that was a part of the reason why she got fired, or she did it and she confessed to me afterwards, something of that nature. But it was some corruption going on. But anywho, once they fired her, all of the administrators and instructors from the day program had to fill in and cover the evening program that I was in. So again, they already had their mind made up, and then here I am. I got back, I got back in the program. So I'm like, I heard you bitches was looking for me, bitch. Yeah, I got like I'm back in there, and so I didn't trip. I was still myself. I showed up to class. I did what I had to do. I made sure I didn't get into any other issues. And they started to see my personality and get to know me and see how I operated within the class and see my spirit and who I really am. And they started to like me because I'm likable. When you actually get to know me and don't judge me based on the boundaries that I set, or when I stand up for myself, or when I'm just my authentic self. And by the time we got to our pinning ceremony, that same administrator that kicked me out literally walked up to me crying and apologizing to me and asked me if she can give me a hug because she misjudged me. And that's what a lot of people do. Just like these folks on Threads talking about, how can I be a life coach when I refuse to help somebody at the grocery store? What was my other story that I had? I said I had 2 or 3 off the dome. I'm trying to think. I had one from a job, but I can't think of it right now. I don't know, but there was another time when I could think about like just being my authentic self can ruffle feathers of some people for some reason. When I worked at, I won't mention the company, but I worked at a big clinic in Colorado. It's a well-known clinic. across the United States. And I was the only black woman in the whole department. Yeah, I was the only black woman in the whole department. When I first started, there was one other lady, but she wasn't a nurse, and they eliminated her role. And I got along with everybody there, and everybody, was mostly white, and there was Hispanic as well. I got along with everybody there. There was like a doctor that I really didn't like working with because she was rude and rushed people, but we kind of got to know each other eventually. But as far as my fellow nurses, as far as I knew, we all got along. One of my coworkers, she trained me when I first started. We always had great banter back and forth. We talked. I thought we was cool. But in meetings, again, when we have meetings, I speak up in meetings. I voice my concerns. I talk. I don't overtalk anyone. I don't interrupt anyone when they're talking. I just do say what I need to say in the meetings. So, never thought that that was a problem. Next thing I know, when it was time for my annual review or mid quarterly review or however often they did it, my supervisor is telling me that I've made someone feel uncomfortable and she's feeling like she can't voice her opinions in meetings. And I'm thinking, how the hell, what that got to do with me? So she literally put some negative feedback in my annual review based on someone else saying that I made them feel uncomfortable to share. And never once did I hear about that from her, the woman that said that. Never once did I hear it from my supervisor. She never talked to me about it, pulled me to the side. So I'm like, why is my annual review the first time that I'm hearing about this? Mind you, my raise is connected to my annual review. So she was basically like, she wasn't gonna take it out. So I went to her supervisor, and her supervisor was like, no, that's not how that goes. That's not staying in your review. If she had an issue, if it was an issue, it should have been brought to you right away. If it was something that was going to reflect on your annual review, there should be, a process. There's a process of that paper trail. And, baby, I got that right on off. So, anyway, all I'm saying is you got to be able to speak your mind and say what you got to say and be your authentic self and not worry about how it makes other people feel, as long as you're not doing it from a place of malice and you're not intentionally harming anyone. But just speaking up and setting your boundaries and all of that, like, people will villainize you for that, and it ain't that deep. So I had a whole other topic that I was going to go into, but y'all, it's almost 1 a.m. I've made my commitment to show up here daily, so I had a long day. This was as early as I can get on here. I'm going to try to come earlier tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, if you are in the Atlanta area and you would like to speed date, you're looking for love, you're looking to get out of the house and start getting to know people in person and get back into having those meaningful conversations and in-person connections, pull up on me at Vegan and Friends. Vegan and Friends is tomorrow at Atlanta, or today actually, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Speed dating starts at 7 p.m. prompt. We're going to be upstairs. As soon as you walk in, you bust that right and go right upstairs, and we're speed dating there. If you're in the Atlanta area, whether you're in the Atlanta area or not, and you are looking for love, you are an intentional dater, a hopeful romantic, you're looking to find love in 2025, join the Intentional Love Collective. That is my database. It's a growing community of intentional daters who are looking for love, and it allows me to match you all better when I have my speed dating events that I create, curate, and host, and my singles mixers. I want you to be able to come in and have people there that you are interested in, attracted to, and match your values and share an interest. So in order for me to do that, I need you to fill out a form so that I can match you appropriately. And if you are interested, comment, DM, or email me at oshacerese@gmail.com. That's OSHACERESE @gmail.com. intentional love, and I will send that over to you. It's a growing database. You got to get on it. Um, if anything I said tonight resonated with you when it comes to kindness versus niceness, and you struggle with people pleasing, setting boundaries, feeling guilty about saying no, standing on business when it's something that doesn't resonate with you, stepping into your authentic self, you need to also DM me or message me or get on a strategy call or a coaching call or a discovery call, whatever you want to call it. Go to my website, oshacerese.com. I have a cohort coming up soon and a book called The Power of No. If you want to get into the boundary setting and letting go of people pleasing and all of that, you need to become a part of The Power of No. It's coming soon. Stay tuned. You can always go to my website, oshacerese.com, for courses, for self-love, healing, self-discovery, for coaching calls. It's storming outside, y'all. Coaching calls or strategy calls for your content strategies. Um, or grab you a guided journal, How to Beat Single. I ain't gonna keep talking too much. It's late, but go to oshacerese.com. Look around, see what courses catch your eye, see what you want to do as far as if you're not ready to dive all the way in and you need a little help to figure out what you could utilize for my services. Just book a free discovery call and we'll talk about it. See, thumbs up. Again, if you're in the Atlanta area, come see me tomorrow at Vegan and Friends. We're speed dating at 7 p.m. at Atlantucky. And comment or DM or email me intentional love if you want to be added on the database. Thank you all for joining me tonight. We'll get into some celebrity tea. I gave y'all a little bit with the Soulja Boy and what's his name, Marlon Wayans mess, but I had a whole other topic that we were going to talk about, so we'll talk about that tomorrow because a little bit is probably still unfolding. So y'all have a wonderful night. I'm going to rest my voice and finish off this tea that's not hot anymore, but I got the goodies at the bottom. And y'all have a wonderful night. Talk to y'all later. Actually, I almost forgot. Let me leave you with a journal prompt. You know I always leave you with a journal prompt. Woo, child. Or 2 or 3. What's the difference between being nice and being kind in your life? What does that look like for you? Because are you being performative? Are you not being your authentic self? Talk about it, write about it, think about it. Where in your life do you need to set stronger boundaries? And when was the last time saying no protected your peace? Speaking of peace, y'all have a good night. Peace.